It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline: Nobody is safe again. Bandits kidnap mother of Governor Yahaya Bello's chief of staff. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari is under increasing pressure from both critics and allies as the country grapples with a series of security crises that have claimed hundreds of lives in recent weeks. An alarming wave of violence has enriched millions in Africa's most populous country, causing security to crumble. Jihadist attacks in the northeast have been exacerbated by a sharp increase in abductions targeting civilians in schools and interstate links across Nigeria. Mass killings in rural communities by bandit groups, an increase in armed robberies in urban areas, and increasingly audacious attacks on security forces by pro-Biafra militants in the southeast have all increased. A few weeks after the Kogi State Commissioner for Environment, Adewale Omofaye, narrowly evaded kidnapping, gunmen kidnapped the mother of Governor Yahaya Bello's chief of staff. According to sources, Madam Seriya Raji was kidnapped around 8 p.m. on Monday at her home in the Nagazi area of Okene, Kogi State. According to one of her neighbors, the shooters, who were disguised and clad in black suits, gained entry to her room through the mosque next to her office. Omofaye, the Kogi commissioner, was attacked and injured in the last week of November between Ikoyi and Iyara districts of the state. 3 people were claimed to be in the car when they were kidnapped and attacked by suspects. According to Sahara reporters, the alleged kidnappers opened fire on his vehicle when he was on his way to Lokoja, striking him in the leg with a bullet, and during the incident, it was alleged that some motorists were kidnapped and transported to the bush. Upon breaking of this sad event, Nigerians have taken to their Twitter handle to react, and below are some of the reactions. There should be no cause for alarm. This is a family matter. A government official's mother being held by a few government start-at Pikins under the able care of the best governor in Nigeria, something Yahaya Bello can handle in a jiffy. I can see that Yahaya Bello is the best governor in Nigeria. Let us clap for him. And a whole lot of reactions that have surfaced on the social media after this sad event. Lives are lost, people are being unjustly killed like animals, and we demand the return of peace in our society. We are saying enough is enough, no more bloodshed. Out of school children figure is witnessing a massive rise of orphans everywhere. We can't travel in peace. The economy is crumbling. People are burnt while traveling. The protesters marched from Audu Bako Secretariat to the Kano government house, where security operatives received the group of protesters, listened to them, and promised to take the matter further to the appropriate quarters. Meanwhile, following the recent spike in terror attacks in Sokoto and Katsina states, President Muhammadu Buhari has dispatched a high-level delegation made up of heads of national intelligence and security services to the 2 states. According to a statement by the President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, on Friday, Buhari expects the delegation to present an immediate situation report and recommendations on actions to follow to effectively deal with the worrying situation. And also, the defunct Social Democratic Party, SDP, Professor Yowuse Aga, has urged separatist agitators to go about the agitations in a civilized manner to avoid bloodshed. In an interview with Vincent Kalu, the Professor Agia, a former senator who has served twice as minister and twice as ambassador, said that the 3 zones that have produced presidents should wait for the other 3 zones to have president. After that, he noted that the president should be chosen purely through popular contest, devoid of zoning. Many Nigerians have tried to go back in history to situate Nigerians' problems in the amalgamation of 1914. They say that Nigerians' amalgamation into one country should never be taking place because of our differences. These groups insist that the amalgamation's expiration date is over and is now the time for the dissolution of the Federation. But I say these people are wrong. There is no manual for the formation of nations. Wars, accidents, imperialism, necessity, agreement, arbitrations, and consensus have all given birth to countries. Our nation was born from imperialism and they became a British colony after the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885. But we shook off the shackles of colonialism and emerged as an independent nation. The whole world still understanding that Nigeria would be a great nation and would wipe away the tears of all black people of the world by building a great democracy and a republic where justice and honor, peace and progress will be showcased. The reasons for the failure to attain greatness are that we have poor leaders and poor followers who have not been able to make nation building their number one priority. Our leaders have continued to wallow in ethnic racism and corruption. Ironically, it was based on Pan-African unity and nationalism, and our founding fathers got independence. But soon after independence, we have systematically destroyed every fabric of nation building through corruption and ethnic racism. The last 6 years have been the very worst in throwing up Nigeria's fault lines. The parties have failed to give leadership and they lack ideological commitment, purpose, or clarity. The weak institutions of states have been unable to defend democracy, and the Nigerian people have yet not resolved on national greatness. When we decide, nobody can stop us, the professor says. The professor also noted that the Nigerian elite must come together and overcome their apathy and decide to make Nigeria great through comprehensive restructuring of the federation, saying that we need more efficient and leaner federal, civil and public service, and that we need the states to be stronger and the federal government to divest itself of its overwhelming control at the center, saying that we must resolve to tackle tribalism with greater intensity than we have fought corruption, saying that the last thing we need to do in addressing our nation's calamity is to recruit into politics and public sphere people with sound character who see wrong as wrong and who are courageous to stand up to forces that seek to destroy Nigeria. Asking about insecurity, saying that we started with Boko Haram and now ISWAP, saying that the United Arab Emirates recently named some Nigerians sponsoring the insurgent group, saying that Nigerians were excited, thinking that those who have contributed to the plunging this country into the crisis that has got millions of dollars and the carnage that followed will be prosecuted. However, the presidency said charging them is not a priority, and the professor was asked about his view on this particular statement. Response saying that the view is that the government has been living in denial and that Nigeria is first starting from a civil war that religious extremists and ethnic bigotry have foisted over us. The government has invented semantics of deception, which is helping terrorists by packaging them as bandits and even worse, non-state actors. I was walking on eggshells to call the foreign Fulani terrorists ссåñdìts, rapists and land grabbers through genocide as non-state actors. Kidnapping has been packaged as a foreign flourishing business as well. Perhaps this government is slowly manufacturing our consent and clandestining origin our surrender to a Taliban-type insurrection, and the facts are too glaring to say otherwise, saying that the government knows the sponsor of these asymmetric wars and they know how to block their funding and know far more than they wish the public to know.